have the rubric posted today. Yeah, because it's not there. So, we're looking for the surgical presentation that you've got. What I'm looking for is, give me some generic idea of what that person looks like. What did they do? How did they do it? I don't need you to create like this whole elaborate case study, but just enough of mechanism of injury a bit, just enough. And then if you can find a surgical video demonstrating, showing that surgery, that gives us an idea of what's happening. And if you can describe what's going on as it's going through, even especially better. So I'd like to see that you understand the surgery. Because why do we need to understand the surgeries that we're looking at when we're talking about injuries? What? How does it can directly impact how our care is taken care of after? So take an ACL. We've got the very strong likelihood that we need to have prehab done. We need to have rehabilitation started prior to surgery. So if that's the case for your injury, then we need to discuss that and have that brought forward. What kinds of things are you going to focus on? What can you pull together for that preemptive, what can we gain before the surgery? What does the surgery entail? Are there multiple options for doing that surgery, and what are the pros and cons of those options? And then a little bit, and just touch on some of the considerations that the surgical process has on some of your follow-up care. So if you're taking a hamstring graft for a patella, for an ACL reconstruction, how does that potentially impact what you're doing? If you're taking the middle third of a patella for an ACL graft, what does that potentially impact? If you have a meniscus tear, which is common to have concurrently with an ACL, what kind of implications are there? So it doesn't have to be extensive, but for some of the major key points, by all means, that should be included. Now, for what you're doing, this is obviously going to be a stretch, and you'll have to put a little work into kind of pulling some of these pieces together. Feel free to draft up an outline of what you're going to talk about. Send it to Andy or myself, and we can say, yes, but maybe you can leave this part out, or if you can focus on this a little more, that'd be better. Feel free to use us to bounce off to make sure that you're getting the information that you think is important, that we think would be important. So what that means is more than 24 hours beforehand. You can approach us for a little bit of help. But don't do it the night before, because I go to sleep at 9. So, I'm an old man. I like fresh. So, onward and upward, we're going to have some